I rarely post here, so please bear with me if my post isn't quality. More or less a mind dump. The only two people who know the whole story is my current wife and Felix. I just want this off my mind. Backstory: my name is Jason. I come from a military family. That being said, my life was a bit different with me being the man of the house whenever Dad was away. I have a little brother with autism, a baby brother, and an older sister who's legally blind. We didn't always live in the nicest areas, so I made it a point to do whatever I could to take care of them. With that being said, I had additional responsibilities that didn't give me much time for friends. Perfect equation to end up being awkward and quiet. 5 years ago, I enlisted into the Army National Guard. I wanted active duty but wanted to go to college prior to being active, so it seemed to be a good fit. I completed my training when I was 17 and went back to my home state. While in school, I met a kind and gentle woman who, we clicked well, and after a few dates over 3 months started to date officially, the first relationship I had. She enlisted not too long after, and we became dual military couple. For a while things were fine. Sex life was active, we'd go on date nights often, and our families were in good standing. A few months later we were at Thanksgiving dinner with my family when the topic went towards music and artists, a topic I personally have no knowledge of. Personally, I only use music while working out and never paid attention to it, simply used for background noise. She would talk about her love for political poetry and African American artists. When I was asked for my thoughts, I just kept it blunt. I don't really care. I'm not political and can care less. I just like music that sounds decent while I lift. I want to get hyped, not listen to someone's views mid-set. Admittedly, I can see where this could come off wrong, but it's just who I am. I'm direct, awkward, and never cared for politics in any form. Apparently, this wasn't the answer she was looking for. I found this out when she slapped the SHT out of me in front of my family. The look of shock on everyone as she continues her rant on how insensitive I am to other groups and how I'm close-minded. My sister tried to call her out on her SHT, saying something along the lines of, how can a Mexican dating a black girl be close-minded? Not wanted to deal with any of the BS that would surely ensue after, I just got up and announced that I think it's time for her to go home. The drive home to drop her off was awkward. She tried to pretend like nothing happened while I'm over here trying to process how embarrassed the whole situation was. We have never assaulted each other before, so I made up my mind that it would be the first and last. I decided to break up with her that night. The following day she calls and texts me, but I didn't pick up. I wanted to block her number, but I decided to answer her call and broke up with her rather than leaving it in the air. Later that day she called me, and I answered. She apologized for what she did and I wasn't having it. I told her that it's best we go our separate ways because I couldn't be in a relationship with an abusive person. She kept apologizing till I hanged up. She called me back, but I didn't answer, so she came to my apartment and knocked on my door and I didn't let her in. She waited till I came out to go to the gym. When I was about to enter my car, she approached me and started pleading with me. She apologized for disrespecting me and promised that things would get better and that she is going through a lot of stress with her family. Her explanation at the time made sense, and I thought I should give her another chance because she promises that she would be a better girlfriend. Spoiler alert, it got worse. It didn't take long for her to change back to her old self, and it even got worse. No longer sweet and caring, she went to more demanding and spoiled. She started demanding sex almost every time we met. Wanted more expensive dates. Prior we would go to parks, hike, or watch movies. Now she wanted Six Flags and upper-end restaurants. Whenever I said no, she would throw a fit or try to cause a fight. This went on for a while before I got tired of it and attempted to break it off. Seeing how she got physical over music preferences, I thought it to be better to leave over a phone call. Started it off direct and just said I was leaving. This is when she drops a bomb. I had a miscarriage in November. I'm sorry, that's why I've been different. What do you mean you had a miscarriage? We always used a condom. I had clumps in my period, and it looked like a miscarriage. I'm sorry, but that doesn't change much. Instead of communicating, you decide to hide it and treat me like SHT. But Jason, we had a baby. I'm just throwing it out there right now, I'm effing stupid. I was 18 and had no clue how the F any of this works. Well, now I feel guilty and broke. I stayed with her. And through utter hell for the next 12 months. For the sake of length, I won't do a play-by-play, but here's a few examples of things that followed. Always wanted to monitor my accounts. Got more physically and emotionally abusive. Used the miscarriage as a poker chip. Demanded sex once, ignoring me saying no in a movie theater and going through with it anyways. If caught, I would lose my military career. If I made a scene, I would more than likely still lose my career. Berated me whenever I didn't agree with politics. Tried to make me isolate from the very few friends I had. Always wanted to try unprotected sex, and cream pies tries to get people around us to see me as a bad guy. Anytime we used Plan B, she would complain about how I am deleting her baby. Etc., etc., etc. Few months later we both get orders. She gets 6 months orders and I get 3-month orders. The timeline is that I leave 1 week prior to her coming home, so we will not be seeing each other for 9 months. This will be important later. While she's on orders, I hang out with friends and they try to help rebuild what she tore down, trying to build me up to leave her. Being stupid and 18, I was hesitant to leave the first relationship. They called me stupid but said they'd always have my back no matter what happens. I ship out, she comes back. We have 0 contact for the 3 months I'm out. I meet a lot of great people. One being someone who I would consider a brother in the future. We will call him Felix. After the orders, I get back home and head over to the GF apartment. I met an utter bombshell. Hey, welcome back. We're pregnant. I'm 4 months pregnant. What? At this point, I'm not thinking clearly. All I'm thinking about is how the hell I'm going to support a family at 19 and how much money I wasted on condoms and Plan B if the damn things didn't work. On the way back from her place, I picked up my first can of dip, cigs, while calling Felix. I explained the situation through barely coherent ramblings. God bless his heart, he was patient enough to let me finish when he broke the news. Look, Jason, I know you're in shock. I know you're not this effing stupid. You were on orders for how long? And how long was she on orders? How long did you two not have contact? She's 4 months along, right? No contact for 9 months, right? Take a step back, calm down and think. Hangs up. I'm now in my car, embarrassed as can be that I didn't think about the timeline until Felix mentioned it. I called her the next morning confirming dates before I break the news to her. You're 4 months pregnant when we've been on opposite parts of the country for 9 months. Now either my sperm is super sperm that shot 2,000 miles to you, that baby is Jesus 2.0, or simply that's not my baby. Over a year of abuse caught up with me. I no longer cared about trying to please her or messing up. I just did not give a SHT. She tried convincing me that it could be my kid, leading into a long convo best summed in not my problem. I break up with her and made it clear I wanted to be left alone. Just like before, she refuses to leave me alone, but this time, I blocked her number. Fast forward a few days and I get a DM from her parents. Jason, we understand how you feel, but this is your responsibility, and we need you at the next appointment to get tested for the sickle cell trait. I was going to ignore it until my family brought up that it might be possible for them to go to my unit or take me to court if I didn't have proof that it wasn't mine. So, I ended up going under the agreement that I will only get tested if the ultrasound puts the date within a realistic time frame. I get there, they do their thing, I wait for the doctor to come back. Doc, so I understand you're the dad? Me, well that depends, how far along is she? Doc, 4.5 months, me, I just got back from 3-month orders, and she got back from 6 months. We didn't have contact for 9 months. Things get awkward, Doc can't look me in the eye. I ask if it's humanly possible, she answers not, so that's that. Not my kid. I think it's all over. I was wrong. For the next few months, she would try to contact me via family, new numbers, fake socials. She sent people in her unit to attempt to contact me. I had on 2 occasions her friends or family try to enter the property. At this point it got so bad I was just done. I lost my first relationship. I lost the few friends I had. My performance at work has dropped so low I was viewed as a joke. I stopped working out and was stressed so bad I went from 140 pounds to 120 pounds since I got home. I was just ready for everything to be over. I had the barrel of my hunting rifle in my mouth just ready to end all the bull SHT. My phone lights up making me want to pull the trigger more out of fear of it being the ex, using fake number or her family. Then I noticed a ringtone. It was You Say Run from My Hero Academia. Felix ringtone. I pick up the call. Hey, Jason, I'm just calling to check in on you. How you doing? You are feeling all right? I broke down. First time in my life where I actually broke down crying. I tell him everything. What was going through my head, what I was about to do, everything that happened since our last phone call in the car. We had a 3-hour phone call about how to handle the situation and where I can get help. The next day I was in a therapist's office breaking down again, getting help that admittedly I probably needed over the years. One night I was out with a friend when we met an active military member that knew me and my ex-girlfriend. He was in my ex-unit, so he was serving at the same place where she was posted. I leveled with him and told him how abusive my girlfriend was and how I broke up with her. I got personal with him because I was trying to get him to tell me how my ex really was in base. He told me that he knew about 4 guys that she was intimate with during and around the time she got pregnant. He thought maybe we were in an open relationship, where we have broken up. Moreover, he didn't know me that well, so he didn't want to get himself in trouble. That made me mad even more because she tried to pin the baby on me and continued to harass me. She would show up at my apartment, try to get me in trouble, contacting people that I know to try to turn them against me. I decided to get a restraining order, took her to court, and she openly admitted to the harassment and the fact the child wasn't mine. Court decided to not grant the order to not hurt her military career, but gave her a warning that if she does anything I will be granted one. With that being said, I moved my ass to a different state to stay on the safe side. Fast forward a few years. I completed college and decided to stay National Guard. I now work in the cyber IT field. Married an amazing woman who I love, supportive and wants to grow and improve as a team. Felix would later delete himself November 3, 2021, something I personally feel guilt for on a daily basis. Last I checked, X was still bat SHT crazy stalking my life when she can. I want to share a few things. 1. If your gut and people who you hold close tell you to run, run. 2. Take care of the people around you. It only takes what seems like a minor mistake to cost you something that meant the world. 3. Something Felix told me: a soldier isn't just a title, it's a symbol of someone who endures and embraces hardship and pain and continues to move forward to care for the people around them. Made me realize that if I pulled that trigger, I would have left my siblings, the flesh and blood that I raised, alone without their older brother having their back. Thanks to him, I was able to reach out and help whole communities that I used to live in, bettering the lives of the people in them. I'm visiting his grave and family face to face with my wife in the spring. I want them to know what their sons and brothers' actions led to, and in return what effect that had not only on my life, but the communities I've reached out to. Their son died a hero to many. I want them to know that at the least,